Okay, so here's the same thing that you saw in the last video. Here it is. Nothing has changed other than the plug location. From being directly on the board, you can see some glue residue, and I moved it out to here. It's all super glued in place so the wires are firm and strong. Haven't added any PWM controls because I feel like the software needs some revamping. So far, I've been nailing whether the simple FOC software initialized or failed was through the serial monitor on my laptop. Although that is good and perfect, this is meant to be a standalone device. It's meant to work on its own away from any computer, and you're supposed to plug into there to change softwares and such. But I managed to use the LED on there using the Waveshare S30. Turns out I thought this was just a red and blue LED. Nope, it's a full RGB LED. So it's a status indicator now. So I'm going to demonstrate that status now. And I did also think about this before. If you wondered why I didn't just put this directly on top, even though it was completely possible, it's because I wanted access to that LED in case it was an RGB, and I wanted access to the buttons. So, and there's also some space here, so I can put a little 5-volt regulator, wire that to there, and wire that 5-volt to there, and have another 5-volt coming out, which is going to be here for the signal, the ground, and the 5-volt. And what has that? RC transmitters. But that is for the next video. For now, I'm going to show you the status. So I'm going to be showing you that in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so we're back. I simply just got this plugged in. Problem with these plugs when they begin to wear out is because thing is, like, whenever you move it about, sometimes it just turns off and on, and that's really glitchy. So I have to worry about this turning off and on. So how am I gonna do this? Like so. I don't have an on and off switch for this thing, so that'd be nice because it runs directly on 5 volts. So hold up. Okay, good. So on start, dude. Yeah, on start, it initializes, and then it turns green. Okay, how do I combat this? Alright, that's probably a little better, but yeah, when it initializes and everything goes correctly, the LED on there turns green. So when I move this, that was a glitch. It can't sense glitches. I'm only able to sense glitches because the glitches are mainly through hardware, not anything else. So purple for initialization, initializes the sensor and the motor, then goes directly to 0, and green stands for on. So yes, that should be the characteristics of what is going on. Hard, high torque, feedback. I did some more PID tuning from the last video. So the voltage is now 10 volts per phase. I turn basically the filter down to 0.001. So that is like completely raw. Basically, you can feel the vibrations from any, sensor noise, but it's actually not enough to vibrate the motor. It's only enough to vibrate the motor ever so slightly when you touch it. So if you touch it, you feel the vibrations, but anywhere else you could, if it's through a gear train, the slight losses and slight side differences through how gears work would make sure that it doesn't work. You guys are able to see that though. When I'm looking at it, it's vibrating really quick. But there you guys see it vibrating left and right very slowly. Rolling shutter effect maybe. But yeah, so that's it on. But if it fails, before it used to just say simple FOC ready in the software, but well, now it works. It tells me in the serial read if it's either failed or working. So I have that set up now. So if I reset it, hold up. Okay, so I have the light purple now. So when I untouch that, hold the motor down, it shows red. because the motor was not able to initialize the sensor, so red means fail. Purple for initializing, red means fail, and green means go. Everything's working. So, yeah, you could also achieve the same effect if you, well, reset the thing, have it unplugged because they don't work in tandem, and that still works. Or you can just hold down the motor. So, yeah. No battery mount. The battery is actually up to the task. But a little glitch that I could show you is... God, I'm going to put this thing sideways so I can stop having that video like that. So, what? Showing green. Well, yeah, the glitch happened while I didn't show you, but, well, it's not really a glitch, it's more like a way to cheat the software. So if you click it, and it goes to the initialization mode. If you move the motor left and right, as if the motor were moving, it shows green, because the sensor initialized its reading and it thinks the motor is working. But the motor isn't getting any power, so it's sending PWM pulses to the thing, and the current sense, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how it gets that, because it's just 3 PWMs, a ground, and a enable. So it reads and makes a guess on what the electrical angle of the motor is. That changes through heat, temperature, yeah, heat and temperature, same fucking thing, I'm an idiot. Anyways, but yeah, let's see if it still works when I plug it in. So, through this glitch, the motor spins uncontrollably. Or controllably, I don't know. Because the sensor wasn't properly initialized, the way I initialized it, it set it up for that. So, yeah, and glitches also happen if you're on a weird surface and one of these touch something and get a weird read. Yeah, it just totally glitches out. If you're wondering what that residue is, it's not a residue. I'm not a nasty fuck, so don't mind that. But still, yeah, I've made a lot of progress. So from now, next video will be on the PWM read from ARC transmitter. So bye.